At the age of 41, we're seeing some upper tooth show on repose. So when she just parts her lips, you can really see her upper central incisors as well as the lateral incisors as well. And here I wonder if she had a buccal fat removal, because the area underneath her medial cheekbones appears to be more hollowed, and that's approximately the area of where the buccal fat rests. Now, it could also be that she experienced weight loss, and that might explain some of the changes in the face. But when we see a more obvious depression in that location, we do at least consider the potential of a buccal fat removal. While buccal fat removal was really in vogue last year and the year prior, 2022, 2023, we have to keep in mind that this is not a new procedure, and it's been around for a long time.
Lauren Sánchez has always been more than just a face in the crowd. She has been a presence, a statement, and for women in their 50s, she has become almost an emblem of what it means to embrace beauty with confidence and mystery. People look at her and wonder how she carries herself with that glow that never seems to fade, a glow that whispers secrets of discipline, elegance, and perhaps a little help from something hidden. Because in a world where celebrities are endlessly photographed, where every wrinkle, every detail is dissected, Lauren manages to step out looking polished, radiant, and somehow ageless. And so the whispers began. What is her secret? What does her team know that the rest of the world does not? Her makeup artist, who has worked alongside her through late nights, red carpet moments, and candid flashes, has spoken quietly about one step, one ritual, one skincare savior that Lauren never skips. It is not about a complicated 10-step regimen. It is not about drowning in endless jars of creams and serums. Instead, it is about one essential step that resets everything. And the way it is described makes it sound less like a product and more like a ritual, a part of who she is. Lauren has built a reputation for living large, dating one of the richest men alive, flying helicopters, stepping on yachts. But beneath the glamour, there is discipline. There is a woman who understands that appearance is power, and in Hollywood, appearance is survival. She has always been camera ready, always prepared to stand beside Jeff Bezos under the flash of headlines and the gaze of millions. Yet what most people do not see is the quiet preparation that happens before the cameras roll, the careful attention to detail, the reliance on one secret step that her team insists keeps her skin not just looking alive, but telling a story of youth and resilience. It is fascinating because many assume that in your 50s, beauty fades into memory, but Lauren has flipped that script. She has made her 50s the beginning of a new chapter where she looks not diminished but elevated. And so the question grows sharper. What is this one step her artist calls a savior? Is it something hidden in plain sight, something women overlook, or something only those in the inner circle get to know the truth? Is it may not be about buying something new, but about using something simple consistently with intent and confidence. And that is why the mystery grows deeper, because the audience watching Lauren wants to believe that beauty like hers can be achieved, that there is a savior that can be adopted into their own lives. Her artist describes it not as luxury, but as necessity. And that framing makes all the difference, because luxury feels distant, but necessity feels close. It feels possible. And so this one step has become the quiet obsession of many who follow her story. They want to know, they want to believe, they want to see in their own mirror what Lauren carries in hers. Yet the beauty of Lauren Sánchez's journey is not only about skin or radiance, it is about the way she balances power, glamour, and intimacy. She is the partner of a man whose name is tied to billions, rockets, and innovation. Yet she still makes headlines for the way she glows when she walks into a room. She still steals attention away from the money, the machines, and even the headlines, because she herself is the story, and perhaps that is the ultimate secret. Her one step is not just skincare, it is confidence. Routine and discipline wrapped together into something so seamless, her artist swears by it, because they have seen it transform not only how she looks, but how she moves, how she takes up space, how she owns the narrative. And as part one of this scroll story closes, we are left with the question still unanswered. What exactly is this savior? What does it look like, and why has Lauren Sánchez become the modern beauty icon for women in their 50s who are desperate to uncover the truth? The fascination with Lauren Sánchez only deepens as people start piecing together the fragments of her beauty routine, from interviews, from whispers, from the rare moments when her team lets something slip. Yet even with all the speculation, one detail keeps returning: the insistence on that single step, the so-called skincare savior, that her makeup artist credits as the foundation of every look. And when you think about it, that makes sense because no amount of makeup, no glittering gown, no dramatic hairstyle can truly shine if the skin beneath it does not carry its own life. And Lauren seems to embody that truth. She does not just wear makeup, she wears radiance. And radiance cannot be faked. It has to be built. It has to be nurtured. And for Lauren, that nurturing has been streamlined into something deceptively simple. One choice, one act that sets the tone for everything else. What makes the mystery so compelling is that it runs against the grain of the beauty industry because the world is flooded with endless steps, endless bottles promising miracles. Yet Lauren and her team lean into one step, one savior, one ritual. And that singularity makes people curious because it suggests discipline. It suggests trust. It suggests that less can actually mean more. And in her case, it seems to mean everything. Lauren has lived a life under the magnifying glass, and every wrinkle, every line could have been magnified too. Yet here she is, stepping into her 50s with a glow that challenges the expected. Story and women across the globe look at her as if she is carrying a map, a guide, a hidden answer to the question of how to age not backwards, but beautifully forwards. Because beauty in your 50s is not about pretending to be 30. It is about carrying 50 with grace and still having a spark that feels magnetic. Her makeup artist often describes her presence as transformative, as if when Lauren sits in the chair before a red carpet event, the energy of the room shifts, and it is not the lipstick or the eyeshadow that makes that happen. It is the canvas itself. The skin glowing from that one savior step that never changes, never skips, never fades. And so people start wondering, what if the savior is not about money, but about consistency? What if the real beauty lesson Lauren leaves is that one thing done right and done daily can create results that no luxury routine can replicate? It is a lesson wrapped in mystery because even though the artist hints at it, the full truth remains guarded, and maybe that is part of the magic. Lauren has always been more than what she reveals. She has built a career, a reputation, and now an image on the balance between revelation and secrecy. She gives the world enough to keep them watching, but never so much that they stop wondering. And this skincare secret is just another example of that strategy. The art of keeping the world leaning forward, curious, engaged, always wanting more. And as women in their 50s see her walk the carpet, step off yachts, or appear on the arms of Jeff Bezos, they are not just seeing glamour, they are seeing possibility. They are seeing proof that beauty can reinvent itself at any age. And it all ties back to that one mysterious step her artist swears by. The step that keeps her timeless in a world that tries to measure time against every face. It might be Lauren Sanchez's glossy brunette hair or the radiant glow she carries with her like a red carpet spotlight. But at 55 years old and stepping into her new life as a newlywed, she appears picture perfect in almost every moment. Whether it is an event under the flashing bulbs or a quiet appearance by Jeff Bezos' side, the impression remains the same. She does not simply show up, she arrives polished, luminous, and unshaken. And that is why people lean closer. They want to know, what is behind that look? How does she keep her skin in a state that seems to defy not only age, but also the pressure of constant scrutiny? And then comes the whisper of her trusted confidant Buster Knight, the celebrity makeup artist who has sat closest to her face, studied every angle, blended every tone, and perfected every finish. He calls it his latest essential, his skin perfecting secret, the step without which nothing else can quite reach its full potential. And when he hints at it, the curiosity spikes even further. Because if someone like Lauren, who lives her life at the highest level of attention, relies on this one element, then surely there must be something powerful about it. People cry out, what is it? What lies at the core of this glow that refuses to dim? And then the name slips into the narrative: Cosmetic Consult's Miracle Skin Transformation, a phrase that feels less like a product and more like a promise. Yet the intrigue is not about bottles or labels. It is about how this one choice, this one ritual becomes the anchor for her beauty journey. Because the deeper truth is that her radiance is not only about what she applies, but about how she embodies it. Her artist calls it a savior, but what he really points to is consistency, focus, and belief. And when Lauren shows up before the world, she does not advertise a routine. She demonstrates it with every step, every smile, every flash of the camera. And so the story spreads. Women in their 50s hear about this miracle transformation, and they do not just think about creams or treatments. They think about possibility. They think about a single step that can shift everything about how they see themselves. And that curiosity fuels the myth of Lauren Sánchez, the modern beauty icon who has turned 55 into a new frontier, where instead of fading, she glows brighter than ever, and her trusted makeup artist insists it all begins with that one skin-perfecting secret. He swears by Lauren Sánchez. Skin is always glowing, and her trusted makeup artist Buster Knight once revealed that he first discovered the cosmetic consult secret through Jacinta. And since that day, he has been hooked because when you spend your career preparing faces for cameras, red carpets, and unforgiving lights, you learn quickly what works and what is simply hype, and Buster insists. This one ritual is not hype. It is his anchor, his go-to, and he shares it not just with Lauren, but with every client, regardless of age, because it carries no downtime, no purging, no recovery. It is the kind of step that can be applied when time is short and the red carpet is waiting. When there is no luxury of scheduling a facial, and yet the skin still needs to glow and reflect. Confidence under every flash, and he even talks about the body treatment, an extension of the same miracle transformation, because under the red carpet lights, when a gown shows off a shoulder, a low neckline, or the smoothness of a back, the skin tells as much of a story as the face does. And that is why Buster praises it for smoothing, hydrating, and softening. Instantly, it calms dryness, it tackles crepiness, it makes the surface flawless in seconds, and ingredients like witch hazel and hyaluronic acid add another layer, helping calm inflammation, keep breakouts at bay, and preserve that glass. Like Finish, it is not just about vanity, it is about control. It is about making sure his clients step into the spotlight without distraction, without doubt. And for Lauren Sánchez, this is part of the reason she commands attention, because her team leaves nothing to chance. Buster even admits that he relies on this during travel, saying that his own skin dehydrates during flights. And yet this one ritual keeps him balanced until landing. If it works midair, it will work anywhere, and the reviews echo his experience, with buyers calling it a non-negotiable part of their weekly routine. One shopper admitted that it is often impossible to know which skincare to trust, but this one has proven itself again and again, worth every penny. Another shared that they recommend it for anyone who does not have the time or patience for salon facials, because using it in a Sunday reset leaves their skin nourished, glowing, and red carpet ready all week long. It is not messy, it does not demand hours. It comes as a small wipe carrying a mighty punch, and people confess that they are often asked about their secret, because their skin looks transformed. And the answer they always give is cosmetic consult. And so the legend of this one-step savior grows not just in celebrity circles, but among everyday people who see Lauren Sánchez at 55 radiating and want to believe that they too can carry that same light with just one simple step. Lauren Sánchez has become a symbol of curiosity, fascination, and admiration all wrapped into one, because at 55 she not only continues to draw the gaze of red carpet cameras and tabloids, but she also inspires quiet questions from women around the world who watch her transformation and wonder how it is possible to remain so radiant, so camera-ready, and so untouchable in an industry that has never been kind to women over 40. And this is where the whispers about her beauty routine become more than just idle gossip. They become part of her legend, because her trusted makeup artist Buster Knight has been unusually open about one-step, one savior that he swears by, something he credits with transforming the skin, not only of Lauren, but of all his clients who demand to look flawless in the most unforgiving conditions. This is not about a drawer of complicated jars or the luxury of scheduling spa appointments at every turn. This is about one simple routine, a wipe, a treatment, a ritual that smooths, calms, hydrates, and prepares the skin for whatever spotlight it is about to enter. And the brilliance of this narrative is that it allows Lauren to maintain an air of mystique. She never claims to be perfect. She never lectures about discipline in interviews. Instead, the story trickles out through her artist, through whispers, through hints, in glossy magazines, and it builds into a mythology. The idea that Lauren is radiant, not because she is trying too hard, but because she has mastered the art of simplicity, consistency, and timing, and that is exactly what women in their 50s long to hear. Because they have already been bombarded with the 10-step routines, the endless jars, the promises that beauty only comes from complication. Lauren represents the opposite. She represents clarity. She represents focus. She represents the idea that you can anchor your entire ritual around one step done right and done consistently. And the intrigue only grows when Buster reveals how this works for him, not just for Lauren, because he admits that his own skin becomes dehydrated under the strain of flights and long hours, but that this miracle transformation restores balance until landing. Which means it is not just for show, it is practical, it is survival. And in a world where image is survival, that distinction matters. And so people begin to connect Lauren's glow with discipline, not just indulgence, and that shift is powerful because it frames her not as someone relying on privilege, but as someone who understands her body, her skin, her presence, and treats them with care. This perception allows Lauren to become a relatable yet untouchable icon. She is glamorous yet grounded. She is luxurious yet disciplined. She is aspirational yet believable. And as the whispers of reviews spread from strangers who call the ritual a non-negotiable part of their weekly reset, the myth expands further. It becomes no longer just Lauren's secret, but a potential secret for anyone willing to commit to one step. And that universality is what makes the story magnetic. The idea that beauty can be democratized through one simple ritual, rather than locked behind the walls of salons and exclusive treatments. And yet, despite the accessibility of the story, the mystique remains, because Lauren herself never spells it out directly. She allows her team to hint, she allows her presence to speak louder than words, and that leaves the audience leaning forward always, wanting more, always chasing the next glimpse of what keeps her flawless under the harshest lights. And this hunger for answers drives not only attention, but admiration, because in Lauren Sánchez, many see not just the partner of one of the richest men alive, but a woman who has crafted her own form of influence, an influence rooted in image and aura, in the unshakable confidence that radiates from skin that looks cared for and protected. And what fascinates the public even more is how Lauren balances this beauty with power, because she is not simply a woman on the arm of Jeff Bezos. She is a helicopter pilot, a television personality, a woman with her own ambitions. And yet she carries herself with the poise of someone who knows that the world is watching and has learned how to control that gaze. Her beauty is not accidental, it is curated, it is strategic. And this one-step skincare ritual has become a metaphor for that strategy. Less is more, consistency over chaos, focus over distraction. And in a society addicted to excess, Lauren's approach feels revolutionary. It feels like a reminder that sometimes power lies not in adding more, but in mastering the essentials. And that lesson resonates beyond skincare. It becomes a lifestyle philosophy embraced by those who follow her story. Women who watch her enter her 50s and see, not decline, but ascension. Not fading, but sharpening. Not irrelevance, but reinvention. Lauren has redefined what it means to age in the public. She has shifted the narrative from fear to fascination, and the one-step savior that her makeup artist swears by has become the emblem of that transformation. Not because it is magic, but because it represents the possibility of owning your story at any age. And so when she appears on the arm of Bezos, or steps onto a yacht, or smiles under the flash of paparazzi, the glow is not just skin deep, it is symbolic. It is proof that beauty and power can evolve together, that discipline and confidence can rewrite the expectations of age, and that one step done right can change everything for those willing to embrace it.
This video covers legal allegations in a news context. All claims are from official filings and no guilt is implied until proven in court. Please keep all discussions respectful. Allegations are not facts until proven in court.